expectancy for what God will do when His people take His church seriously. I also pray you'll get several people in your church to read this book with you. We live in a difficult age of cultural moral relativity and low congregational commitment, a combination proving deadly in many churches today. But we also serve a God of great hope, a God who promises to be with His people when they return to Him. Above all, Membership Matters is a book about the people of God returning to their first love. There are indeed many signs of hope. This book is a book of hope and possibility in difficult days. Read it for enjoyment. Read it for encouragement. But more than anything, read it to see what God might do in your church for His glory. Tom Rainer is founding dean of the Billy Graham School of Missions, Evangelism, and Church Growth at the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky. He is the author of surprising insights from the unchurched and proven ways to reach them, and Breakout Churches. Chapter 1. The Challenge: Moving Attenders into Membership and Ministry. Paul attended First Church every Sunday morning. In fact, he had joined the church and was one of the most consistent worship attenders in his congregation. Other church members often commented on how faithful Paul and his family were. Yet, despite his perceived faithfulness, Paul wasn't involved in the church's ministry. He was gifted and talented, but Sunday morning worship attendance was his limit. Paul was what we call in this study an uninvolved member. Sitting across the aisle from Paul were the Staffords, a young couple seeking a church home. They enjoyed the worship at first, and their children were fitting in well in the Sunday school classes. In fact, they were just waiting for someone to explain to them the church's process for membership. While they waited, they remained only attenders. Across town, 3 uninvolved believers sat faithfully in their own pews. Reba was a new member who really wanted to get involved in the church. She was waiting for someone to ask for her help, but no one did. John was a long-standing member who had decided several years ago that it was time for the younger people to carry the load in the church. Sterling simply attended the church. Actually joining wasn't in his plans. On any given Sunday, uninvolved churchgoers sit in almost every congregation in America. In some cases, they are like the Staffords and Reba, ready and willing, just waiting for leaders to direct them and give them an opportunity. Sometimes they are like Sterling. They are faithful to attend Sunday morning worship. They write a check each week to support the church. Ask them about their church, and they'll gladly tell you, "We go to such and such church." Yet they never join. In still other cases, they are like Paul and John. They have signed the membership rolls of the church. What they don't do, though, is get involved. Attendance does not lead to action. Church is more about receiving than giving, more about coming than going, and more about being served than serving. The good news, however, is that these attenders and uninvolved members are potential sitting in a pew. That's one of the reasons our team wanted to do this study. I assume you are a church leader who has faced some of these situations. You must want to move people into membership and ministry because you've chosen to read this book. Whether you are trying to develop an effective membership process or simply trying to motivate those who remain uninvolved, this book is for you. The background of this study. For the last decade, our research teams at the Billy Graham School of Missions, Evangelism, and Church Growth have been studying evangelistic churches in America. 2 of these studies, led by Tom Rainer, indicated the significance of membership classes in growing churches. This study began as a much more detailed look at these classes, and as you will see, then moved in a new direction. Church leadership surveys. There were 3 components to this research project. Our research team, which was led by Brandon Connor at the time, first sent a survey about membership classes to 150 growing churches. The questions addressed these kinds of topics. Does the church have a membership class? Is it required? Who teaches the class? What curriculum is used? What obstacles did the church face in starting a membership class? Who attends the class? 71 churches responded, with 73% of those responding indicating that they had a membership class. The churches were primarily Southern Baptist.